hits the ground and shrinks.
Hard to come by.
I think I blew off some of the antlers.
Smoked a nice buck. I mean, it's nothing to brag about, though. It's not bad.
It's not bad. Hell no.
What's the buck? It's tiny. Just smoked a small 9-point. It's nothing great, but I'm happy with it, so I'll take it.
Ah, trophy hunting. That little voice in the back of our head that makes us talk down about our own harvest. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're coming in with a hot take, and that is trophy hunting is ruining the sport. Now, to clarify, when I say trophy hunting, I mean the act of hunting for the sole purpose of shooting the largest antlered buck possible. In a perfect world, we would just all shoot whatever makes us happy, and support each other along the way. Well, unfortunately, we all know that is not the case. So today, I'm going to offer up 5 reasons why trophy hunting is ruining the sport, and elaborate on each. To kick things off, we have It Gatekeeps New Hunters. Fortunately for me, I'm one of the last generations to start hunting before social media really took off. Back then, sharing photos amounted to printing them off at the store and hanging them up on your locker or corkboard at home. While I still do those things, don't judge me, most people have taken to Facebook or Instagram to share their trophies. Notice my word choice in that last sentence, as posting pictures of a deer people may find inferior opens you up to public ridicule. Talk about an intimidating task for a new hunter, thinking they need to shoot a large antlered deer just to be accepted by the hunting community. Hunting shows on TV add to the problem. YouTube wasn't really a thing back then, so growing up, my dad and I would watch hunting shows. He was adamant that this isn't realistic, and instilled in me that I shouldn't expect to see 40 deer a night, with 10 of them being big bucks.
That's why I only watch the Drurys and the Lakoskis. They're real hunters.
Think about new hunters coming across those shows that don't have someone with wisdom there to offer a proper perspective. Talk about a rude awakening that first time they go out. I feel like young new hunters can still get by with shooting a small buck, but new adult hunters I feel don't get the same mercy, and I know from experience that seasoned adult hunters sure as hell don't. To piggyback on my last point, we have it makes hunters afraid to share what they shoot. I've run into this more than once, with last bow season being the most recent example. For those who haven't watched my 2023 bow series, yes, shameless plug alert, I had an absolutely brutal season. On a Saturday in the middle of November, I made a bad shot on a doe and clean missed a buck, all within a 20-minute span. Prior to that, I hadn't seen a deer I was wanting to shoot, and with my rutcation in the past and 2 tags burning a hole in my pocket, I was in full salvage mode. I'm not one to eat my tag, at least not anymore, as my love for venison coupled with a day from hell had my standards dipping into non-existent territory.
I'm literally to the point where I would shoot just about anything other than a fawn, just to boost my confidence, so let's try and get it done today.
Fortunately for me, I got the bad taste out of my mouth 24 hours later, when a small 1.5-year-old buck gave me a nice quartering away shot. While this deer meant a lot to me, I knew it was not social media material, as those on the outside merely look at antler size and nothing else, without solid reasoning for shooting a small deer like,
It was injured. It had bad genetics.
Unfortunately, this disease has spread into the YouTube world as well, as clickbaity titles like, Huge 180-inch buck down, are going to absolutely eat videos with a small buck in the thumbnail for breakfast. Find a video where some small bucks are taken, my channel for instance, and check out the comment section. You won't have to scroll far to find hate. To expand on what I briefly alluded to earlier, we have the next point. It makes venison seem like an afterthought. To clarify, I am not accusing trophy hunters of being wasteful of their harvest, but that the meat is merely frosting on the cake. Our ancestors hunted for the sake of survival. Other than for tools and decorations, antlers were nothing more than a small bonus. A few centuries later, there are still people in this world that hunt to put food on the table, with no thought on antler size, but they are a dying breed. For the most part, any serious hunter has at least some benchmark on what they are looking for come fall. However, in Iowa, it's amplified times 10, with 120-inch deer not getting so much as the bat of an eyelash. I feel like us meat hunters are often looked at like Walmart shoppers, which I frequent often, in the sense that they want to maximize their chances of success, but are judged by others. What I mean by that is meat hunters are often strapped for time and resources, so to increase their chances of success, they are oftentimes open to shooting whatever deer walks by them, no matter what's above its head. In fact, for meat purposes, a young adult-sized buck is preferable, as they are easier to age than does, while offering some of the most tender meat the world has to offer. The fourth reason I believe trophy hunting is ruining the sport is they don't account for everyone's situation being different. To expand on this, a quote-unquote trophy is dependent on variables that are specific to where you hunt. Me personally, I share a family property in the middle of Iowa with 3 other hunters in addition to about 100 head of cattle. This property contains about 40 acres of timber and is frequented daily by way of driving an ATV around to check fences. As you can imagine, with that level of livestock and human activity, deer don't exactly make the property their home range, as suitable bedding material is nearly non-existent. What saves us is the property borders a sizable timber that is managed for growing big deer. With most of the cropland being on our side of the boundary, we get a few deer to cross over to feed. Not counting gun season when deer are being scattered around due to pressure, we've shot exactly 3 deer on that property that would be, quote, book bucks. My point is, we don't all hunt on primo deer land, so expecting everyone to have the same standards as you, just because you let certain deer walk, is not valid. If that last point didn't send you straight to the comment section, this final one might. They buy/lease all the prime deer land. Think back to my first point. When you are young and or new, you are easily discouraged if you don't find success. Well, nothing promotes hunting futility like not having anywhere to hunt. Trophy hunters are so antler crazed, they buy up farms, not for livestock or for crops, but for bone. Again, Iowa is so well known for massive deer that the counties where these animals frequent are locked up tighter than Area 51.
So, how are we supposed to shoot deer that are socially acceptable if we can't get on land that produces them?
And the one thing trophy hunters hate more than small bucks being shot is other hunters encroaching on, quote, their area, so good luck getting in the vicinity of anything they hunt. Farmers back in the day hated deer so much you could access their land with as little as a phone call. Nowadays, if 2 hunters knock on their door, and one offers them some coin for sole hunting rights, and the other, what do you think is going to happen? Look, it's no coincidence that since social media has taken off, the plague that is trophy hunting has spread like wildfire. However, I want to hammer this point home. There is nothing wrong with holding out for a certain age class of deer. I understand everyone hunts for different reasons. It's the belittling of others who choose to shoot a deer deemed, quote, too small, that is unacceptable behavior and should not be tolerated. And I know what you're thinking.
Well, if you ever would shoot a big buck, you would understand.
To which I would respond with, the first ever buck I shot was a 150-inch 12-point back when I was 16 years old. By all accounts, this should have hooked me on the trophy hunting mindset of always having to chase the next high, and for a few years it did. I stayed grounded during gun season, but I let that 12-point go to my head during the bow seasons to follow. I was passing deer that for my circumstances should have been getting shot, to the point where I woke up one day and realized I had eaten tag soup for 7 straight seasons. It was in 2022 that I stopped hunting for the approval of others and started hunting the way I deemed fit, and it was an absolute game changer. I know guys that get so antler crazed that they are borderline depressed when they don't find success. If you take anything away from this rant, is that hunting is supposed to be fun and an escape from the world. If it ever starts feeling more like work than a hobby, it's okay to change your approach to the way that makes you happy, because at the end of the day, remember, it's your tag.